Welcome back to Weaver Music. Today we are going to demonstrate how to perform a flame maple veneer chip repair on a 2015 Epiphone Les Paul Standard Pro Bucker that was caused by a guitar case latch. We begin by cleaning the surface of the guitar with a micro mesh cloth and a small amount of acetone. We use some blue dye mixed with a small amount of acetone and a brush and test the color on a piece of paper to get an idea of the color compared to the guitar. Once we feel we have a pretty good match, we start to lightly apply the dye using the small brush and allow the dye to sit on the open veneer and clear coat for just a few moments. We then use a paper towel to absorb any extra dye and keep it from soaking into the veneer too quickly. This process allows us to apply the dye lightly and continue to darken the blue dye as needed till we have a color match we are looking for. Again, we use a paper towel to absorb any extra dye and keep it from soaking into the veneer too quickly. The lighter blue is beginning to match what we want. So we'll start concentrating on the darker spots of the wood grain and also on the outer edge of the guitar body, which is just a little darker blue, to get that to match exactly where we want it. And again, we go ahead and absorb any of the extra dye and pull it out, so we make sure that we go slow and easy to make sure we get exactly what we want. And we just continue to keep repeating the process until we get it matching exactly how we feel it should be to cover up the chip. Now we're going to go ahead and dab the excess dye off one last time, and as you can see, we got the color to match right where we want it. So now we're going to let this sit overnight before proceeding. Now that the dye has dried, we're going to fill it in with a medium CA glue and let that sit for a few hours until it thoroughly cures. Just as a quick side note, the more CA glue you use, the longer it's going to take. So make sure that it's thoroughly cured before you start the next part of this process. The next part of this process is to use a razor blade, and we put tape on each edge of the razor blade. We're going to use this here to scrape the biggest part, or the part that's protruding out of the CA glue, to get it flush with the body. Now that we have that done, we gently go across it in small movements, making sure that we go with the flow of the body. Since this has got a deep curve to it, we can really only go in one direction. So that is what we do, and we continue to scrape off the top edge of the CA glue until we have it almost flush with the body. Again, be very careful when you're doing this here so as not to scratch the rest of the paint around it and having to cause more damage that'll have to be repaired later. Now that we have the CA glue almost flush with the surface, we begin wet sanding using a small block with 400 to 600 grit sandpaper, following the contours of the body till the CA glue is flush and smooth with the rest of the surface. Once flush and smooth, we step up to 1000 grit sandpaper, and basically each sanding step from here on is to remove the sanding mark from the previous sanding. We step it up again to 1500 grit sandpaper, ensuring we remove the previous sanding marks. So we go in different directions following the contour of the body until we have it smooth and all marks are gone. And we finish off the wet sanding with 2000 grit sandpaper, again following the contour of the body as we do it, and make sure that we remove all previous sanding marks. At this point it almost starts to shine, but it still has kind of a dullness, and that's where this last step, the high-speed buffing wheel with scratch remover. We'll put that on there and we'll bring it up to the high glossy shine as it was previously before we started the repair. Just a quick tip, let you know that this buffing compound scratch remover will make quite a mess, so make sure that you cover up stuff that you don't want it to get on, or buff your guitar in an area where it doesn't matter. Once done with your high-speed buffing, just gently go over it with a dry lint-free cloth and wipe your instrument up. And our final results when we were finished. You can see the before chip and the after chip. It came out really well and we're very happy with it. If you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, and as always, please subscribe, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.